Some of the biggest news today came after days of false information being spread on social media and by high-ranking political leaders. We've already tackled the lie about victims only getting $750. What's now been swirling on social media is misinformation like the federal government planned to halt search and rescue efforts in order to seize and bulldoze Chimney Rock. There's also the debunked lie being spread that Vice President Kamala Harris spent or stole FEMA money to house illegal immigrants.
They stole the FEMA money just like they stole it from a bank so they could give it to their illegal immigrants.
So let's take a deeper look at some of these claims that are still being made. What many are saying is that Democrats used FEMA disaster recovery funding to house immigrants at the border. That's just false. First, it was Congress that appropriated $650 million to fund that initiative. It's called the Shelter and Services Program, so it wasn't Kamala Harris. Funding for that comes from the Department of Homeland Security via the U.S. Customs and Border Protection budget. In fact, the last time money was taken from the Disaster Relief Fund for Immigration was in 2019. That was during the Trump administration. It was used to expand space in migrant detention centers and bolster a program that requires asylum seekers to wait in Mexico while their cases were processed in the U.S. Now, this weekend, we got a reminder these false claims can have real-world impacts. Over the weekend, contractors working with FEMA across western North Carolina were ordered to shelter in place while FEMA evaluated a security threat. The Washington Post first reported threats in Rutherford County. And now a man has been arrested. The Rutherford County Sheriff announcing William Parsons is charged with being armed and making threats to harm FEMA workers. The threat actually caused FEMA to pause some of its disaster response work just as people need it most. Our investigative reporter Naomi Coles was first in North Carolina to bring you that news, and her reporting continues tonight.
I've reviewed emails that show a company that contracts with FEMA to do disaster inspections across western North Carolina told its employees on Saturday to shelter in place through the weekend. The email referenced a security threat involving militia units calling themselves FEMA hunters. The emails did not give an evaluation of how credible the threat was, but a second email sent late Sunday evening told employees the pause on inspections would continue through Monday. The Washington Post first reported the security threats had affected FEMA operations in Rutherford County. Our reporting shows the impact is across the western North Carolina area. The Ashe County Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook Sunday saying FEMA had paused operations while evaluating those threats. I spoke virtually to one person today whose home near Asheville was destroyed. They didn't want to give their name publicly for fear of repercussion, but they told me that their inspection was canceled, and that's a blow that's particularly difficult to take because they've been living out of a car and they can't leave the area until that inspection goes through. And that's a situation that many find themselves in as they wait for these inspections to be rescheduled. Reporting from Yancey County, Naomi Coles, WBTV. On your side.
Naomi, thank you. Now, to help correct rumors and provide accurate information, FEMA launched a rumor response page to provide accurate information as well as to keep people aware of rumors and scams and explain the federal disaster assistance programs and the process to take advantage of them. You can find a link on our website. Just go to WBTV.com. Coming up next here.